me set this up here. Fix my boobies. I got some big boobs. Maybe just fell asleep. So I wanted to make this video because honestly, I'm tired. I feel like I'm tired of being quiet. I feel like I'm just tired, and I'm tired of feeling like I have no one to go to. I'm tired of feeling like I'm talking to the same person. I'm tired of feeling like I'm going around in circles. I'm just tired of feeling like I'm not starting nowhere. I'm just tired. I'm tired of feeling like I'm in this alone, and like I'm just tired of feeling like I'm holding back. I'm tired. I'm tired of feeling like I'm not being open enough because honestly, I feel like God allowed me to go through so much so that I can be open with it, so that I can help somebody else. Um, and I just feel like life will just make you go through so much until you understand like there's no running from whatever it is that you have to face or you have to do. If it's meant for you to do, when God will make you do it. So basically what I'm going through in my season in my life and just what I've been going through is becoming a proud black woman, a proud mother, a proud um, wife, a proud daughter, a proud sister. I feel like systematically I'm oppressed to where the point where I can't feel joy in where I am today because of my past. And I put in a lot of work to get past a lot of things that I've been through, a lot of decisions that I've made. Now, some of y'all that live a life where you don't give a fuck and you just doing whatever with your life, this video not gonna matter to you. But if you the kind of person like me, where you actually care about your future, yourself, your kids, your family, and you care about God, you care about your spirituality, you care about humanity, you're an empath and you're in touch with nature, then you will understand this video. But if that's not you, then you're gonna look at me in a systematical way, the way a doctor would, the way a lawyer would, the way a police officer would, the way a judge would, or the way anybody with a degree that allows them to define other people or where they are in their life. Anybody like that, you're not going to understand me. So there's no point in even watching the video unless you just want to be here judging anyway and trying to make up whatever you want to make up. Okay? But the first thing I want to talk about is my mental health. Okay? Now, usually when I try to make these videos, I be like, I don't want to seem like I'm saying too much or I'm doing too much or I'm being too open. But it's like over the past few years, like I've been fighting with that. Like maybe being too open is what I need to do. Okay? Um, so we all been through some type of molestation or rape. Um, and that goes for women and men, girls and boys. I found out the older that I got that if that has happened to you, you are not alone, especially in the black families. It is very rare that there is not at least one person in your family that has been raped or molested by another family. Now, I too have encountered that when I was 7 years old. Um, and I also encountered it a few other times, consciously but unconsciously, just because mentally I started to think that was okay to allow certain family to um, basically molest me because we were playing or whatever you want to call it. Um, I'm trying to be open, but I'm still gonna give privacy to other people. But we all have went through that somehow or some way. And if you haven't, I'm happy for you and I'm thankful for you. But I struggled with that for years. Like it made me feel less. It made me feel unclean. It made me feel like I feel like I didn't really love myself, and it made me blame myself. So I started to hate myself. And when you don't love yourself, you hurt yourself. Okay, it doesn't have to be physically. I never hurted myself physically, but I hurted myself a lot mentally and emotionally by neglecting myself and abusing myself. Okay, um, so I that happened to me. You know, I was 7 years old and it happened to me and I blamed myself. Well, why did I blame myself? I was only 7 years old. Excuse me. Why did I blame myself? I was only 7 years old. Who knows? But I did. Um, let's see. That caused me to have what they would call some type of depression at a young age. Um, as far as my immediate family, my mother and my father, I do have a mom and a father. And when I was younger and to this day, my father is struggling with something. And it's not my right to share that, or I'm just not comfortable sharing it right now, honestly, because I feel like I still have that respect for him. But eventually, in some way, whether it's in a book or whatever, I will share it. But he's been struggling with something since I was in my mother's womb and I didn't even know it. Which caused, yes, I grew up watching my father abuse my mother. And yes, I grew up getting called fat ass and dumbass and all the names you could think of. So when I was in eighth grade, I don't remember. Okay. I don't remember what happened at home, but I know I went to school very upset that day. I was crying. I was hurt that day. Remind you, I'm only 7, but I know I was 7 at the time, but at this time I had to be about 12 or 13, maybe 13. And I went because I was in about 8th grade. I went to school crying. I was in the bathroom holding my breath. I was in the bathroom holding my breath. I was saying I wanted to die. Went to Miss Keo. Did I really want to die? No, I didn't want to die. I just wanted to be heard. I just wanted to be understood. I wanted these emotions I was feeling to just go away. I wanted to feel normal. I wanted to feel like I fit in. You know what I mean? Remind you, I'm feeling like an outcast all the time. Okay, it's now as an adult, as a woman, I love myself enough where I could go around certain people and they don't make me feel no less than myself. I love me, okay? Because I've accepted and embraced everything about myself. The only challenges that I face now is dealing with this system because it's like they want me to feel low. They want something to be wrong with me, okay? Now, back to what I was saying. This all ties into police brutality, Black Lives Matter, however you want to say it. This all ties into that. Okay. Now I went to school screaming I want to die. I should have went to Miss Juliana. Now she would tell me quotes like show me your friends and I'll show you your character. She used to give this example of a sponge in the dripping sink. If you keep the sponge underneath the sink, eventually it's gonna soak up. That's how you gotta think about the people you're around and the things you do. Eventually it's gonna become you. Now she was the black one. I should have went to her that day. Instead, I went to the white lady, Miss Keogh. Um And she called an ambulance and I went to the hospital. Now, I remember it so vividly because it's me. I know how I feel. No matter what your professionalism is, no matter what degree you have, no matter what you encounter in your life, you cannot tell the next person what they feel or what they want or what they think. Now, I'm going to tell you how they get away with telling you what you want and what you think and what you feel. They give you diagnosis. They label you. They label you with these crimes, these records, these felonies, these doctors label you with disorders and stuff. That's how they overpower you because the system overpowers you regardless. So if you go in front of a judge and they got this and this and that on paper, especially if they got something against your mental, it's harder for you to fight for yourself, not yourself. Okay. Now, went to the hospital. I said I was upset with my mom. I don't remember what, but I was upset that morning, and she came to the hospital. Now, when she came in the room, I got mad. So I started to scream. I don't remember what she said to me, but I didn't want her there. I wanted to hurt my mom. She did something to me that I wanted to hurt her that morning. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't nothing too crazy. I don't remember it. But I know my feelings was hurt as a kid, and I wanted to hurt her. But I only hurt myself in the end. Okay. She came in the room and I was like, I don't care. I want to die. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I want to die. I'm laying in the hospital bed and I'm screaming that. I'm 8 years old, so I'm not paying attention to this man. It was a man. He was writing everything I was saying. And my stepmom like, you better shut the fuck up, Khadijah. They're going to send you to the crazy house. Shut the fuck up. I'm telling you to shut up. And I'm like, no, I don't care. I want to die. Now, if I wanted to die, you really think I would have been in the bathroom holding my breath? You really think I would have gotten on the school bus that day? Okay. So, I went to YPI. That is the mental health institution. I went to the crazy place, man. I went to the crazy place. The crazy place wasn't fun either, okay? I went to the crazy place, and when I went to the crazy place, I used to talk to this boy, right? I ain't gonna tell y'all his name, but he was working here, right? Now, I thought I was cute because I was in 8th grade. He was a freshman, okay? So, I was in YPI, right? Now, they treat you like you crazy. They cut your strings from your hoodies, your pants, hospital socks. I mean, I'm in there with real, like, crazy people. There's no TV in the room. It's nothing but a bed and a dresser, okay? Okay? They really treat you like you're in prison. That's what it feels like. I talked to a therapist, man. This dude was cool. He knew nothing was wrong with me, okay? He was like, sounds like you just a young person that want to do what they want to do. That was his response to me, okay? He told my mom the same thing. Yeah, I had to be like 13 and a half because I remember I was 14 when my mom told me what my dad was struggling with because I never knew as a child. She opened up to me when I was 14. This is after I got out of the crazy place. And I think she told me that so I could understand why she made certain decisions or why certain things seemed a certain way at home at certain times and stuff like that. So when I found that out, I still struggle, but I understand. I started to begin to understand why I was struggling, but I didn't really understand more until this day because that's why I don't really battle with those emotions no more. So, um, yeah, so let me tell you, the funny part about the story is it was time to eat and we went downstairs to get some food and I wanted to get some pizza and he was in the kitchen. I said, no, I'm not hungry. I asked somebody to bring my food up, put my hoodie on. I turned right back around because I didn't want him to see me in that place because I knew I wasn't really crazy and that's embarrassing. Okay. Or it might have been his friend that was working there. I don't know, but I was embarrassed. But being there gave me some time to think to myself. That's the only thing I took from it. But it was boring and it actually made me more like, I'll say, hurt and angry because I didn't really want to be there. And when I wanted to go home, they didn't want to let me go home. They never put me on no medication or nothing. All I had was my Bible and my notebook, okay? So I finally went home and I was good. Okay, but that's why I went. Um, Ever since then, I never went back to no crazy place or nothing. Yes, over the years, I struggled emotionally, but that's why I'm so thankful that I went to the high school that I decided to go to, which I'm not gonna share right now because, like I said, I don't want to be up here sharing like too much. But shit, I already said all of that. But I went to high school in the community. I won't say the state and the city and da da da. But if I said the school name, you're probably gonna figure it out anyway. But who cares? I really don't care at this point, okay? I'm just so over it, all right? I'm like I want to cry right now, but I can't cry. But I'm really just over it. Like I'm fed up. I'm just tired of being tired of not doing what I feel like I need to be doing. Like, I'm tired of not feeling spiritually aligned and doing what I need to be doing or saying what I need to be saying because somebody needs to say it. Okay? Somebody needs to not be afraid because this is why black women and women in general, I don't want to exclude any other race, but specifically black women. This is why we're not all elevating right now because these women can't do but so much. God wants us all to have a part in it, okay? So I'm just tired of not doing my part, okay? So like I said, I went to high school in the community, and that high school helped me so much. I mean, I done told the whole school about what happened to me when I was 7. Um, I told them I shared my most valuable parts of myself. I was a part of something called Strong. And that program helped me find myself in so many ways. By the time I left high school, I understood that the things that I've been through do not define me or who I am. The choices that I have made do not define me and who I am. And I also understand that everything in my life was not in my full control at a certain point until now. And that is why I'm making this video, okay? Everything wasn't in my control at all the time. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm the kind of mother that I am because I know my son don't got no control of his life right now. He don't got no control up until he's 18 and he still don't got no control then because I'm shaping him in iniquity. I'm shaping him and molding him. His mind is my mind. Yes, God has a special birth path for him, but I am raising him. Everything that I bring him around and introduce him to will shape and mold him. So you cannot blame yourself for those things. And that's what I understood. And you have to be unapologetic to your parents, your families, and everybody else for yourself. Now, I'm not saying fuck them because I love my mother so much. Because part of what I understood is my mom was weak before. My mother was me before. And that's what I'm saying. It's a cycle. It's an ongoing cycle. But what I had to understand is my mother was my age before. She was a young mom. And her mom was a mom, a black mom. And before her mom, my grandmother was a black mom during segregation, during Emmett Till. And her mom before that, oh, it was worse than Emmett Till. Okay? My grandmother is still alive, 89 years old. So I had to understand that I cannot blame nobody. I can't blame my father for his struggle. Okay, because he had his trials and troubles throughout his life. But it was my responsibility to understand that those things do not define me. They did the best that they could. Yes, they made their mistakes, but it doesn't define me. And once you get older and you learn those things about yourself, it helps you, okay? So here's my problem and why I shared all of that, okay? I am diagnosed with a mood disorder, a depressive disorder, depression disorder. What else did it say? Violent disorder. I think that was about it. I could have sworn it had anxiety up there, but I don't see it no more, okay? I'm diagnosed with all of those things. Now you think when a white person sees me, they think she's been through some things in her. No, they think you're crazy. Okay, they look at you either you're unstable or you're stable. We could control this person or we can't control this person. But no, I'm here today to say that I'm done with that. I'm done going to my appointments acting like they have power over me, okay? Because I take care of me. I take care of my son, okay? I wake up and feed myself mentally and spiritually every day and physically, okay? I do got to do better with the mentally and spiritually. I'm not gonna lie. And my man gets on me all the time about that. And I wonder, like, Papa, why you always studying so much? Why you always watching these videos? Videos like people that's talking like me, but that's because it's helping him educate himself and go up to the levels he needs to go to be who he needs to be. And I'm actually thankful he does that because it keeps me sane and keeps me strong from falling and letting the oppressors win. So I'm thankful for him and for his veganism and for his spiritual enlightenment and everything like that. Okay? Now, with everything I just said, of course I'm gonna have I don't know where they got the mood disorder from. They probably got confused because I was screaming I want to die once my mom came in the room, but I was young. I didn't want her in the room. I wanted to hurt her, okay? And my father's been struggling with this thing, this problem. Of course you're going to have sadness. You're going to be hurt, okay? Like, why wouldn't you feel those things? Now, for the depressive disorder. Now, before I go to the depressive disorder, I found out. Now, this is the thing, okay? I found out if you want to talk to a therapist, in order for your therapist to get paid, if you have Husky insurance, you have state insurance, I'm sure it's like that for any kind of insurance. Say you go to like the social work at your school, or even if you get like a social worker that's like a therapist, they have to mentally diagnose you with something in order for your insurance to pay. And I'm sure it's like that for every state insurance because the state don't that's what they want. But for Husky Insurance, if you have that, you have been diagnosed with something in order for them to get paid for you seeing that therapist, for you seeing that social worker, for whoever you seeing, you was diagnosed in order for your insurance to pay. So technically, there could be nothing wrong with you. I've never been on no medication before. I never took any pills. Okay? One second. Now, on one of my diagnoses, it has a date. It says January 17th, 2000. No, January 12th, 2017. I'm going to tell y'all a little story. Don't mind me, I'm sick. I know that's nasty. But I just don't feel like ending the video and doing all of that because I'm really not even used to doing this. Like, being so, like, into what I'm saying right now. So I don't want to do all of that. So I'm not doing all of that. Around that time, I had just, listen, I went to HSC. I went to high school and community because I wanted to be a probation officer. The reason I wanted to be a probation officer is because I was on probation as a kid. Why was I on probation as a kid? Because I got into fights. Why did I get into fights? Because I wasn't into a certain type of lifestyle and females used to interrogate and pick at me. So I used to get fed up of disrespect and I used to react, okay? So eventually I was put on probation. I also didn't just let anybody fuck with my sister or my cousin, okay? So you fuck with them, you fucking with me. So eventually I was put on probation. So I wanted to be a probation officer because I feel like probation officers, one of the systematical oppressors, don't really do their job to the point where they're helping you. And I say that because why are so many people sent back to incarceration if probation officers is really doing their jobs? So that's why I wanted to be a probation officer, because I wanted to really help people mentally. Because I seen, once I understood and transitioned from what was really the surface of my problem, I saw how it helped me see things differently. It helped me avoid making certain choices and being around. It helped me from being that sponge getting soaked. Because sometimes you could be the own sink soaking up your own sponge. Okay? Let me say that again. Sometimes, like Miss Juliana said, you could be that sink dripping, soaking on your own sponge. It don't have to be somebody else sink on. It could be your sink, soaking on your sponge. And that's why you keep ending up with a soap having to be squeezed out. And the pain of being squeezed out hurts, okay? And I feel like that's the problem with the jail system, okay? You just want these people to come. What's going on? Okay, drug test, boom. No, that's not what it's all about. Okay? Give real solutions. Not these shitty ass jobs. Not these. If a person smoke, don't just put them back in jail. We all smoke. Okay? Okay? Some people smoke marijuana because it helps them. It calms them. Okay? It helps them look past the environment they're in. Alright? But basically, I feel like a probation officer is supposed to help you mentally. You don't gotta go as far as a social worker or a therapist was, but be real with your clients, okay? Build a relationship, a connection. All right? That's what it's about. Not getting too personal, because you gotta protect yourself too, because some people pretend, okay? But that's why you're supposed to be able to tell, okay? So that's why I went to HSC, because it was a school of law, and we did a lot of debate types of things. I did a lot of camping. Like that helped me a lot too. Like it helped me build myself. It helped me feel stronger. Like, and I used to push myself when we used to be hiking. When I say we hiked from somewhere all the way back to another state or something like that. It was a far hike, but we slept overnight too in the woods. I done drank from a lake. I like camping, okay? So anyway, I really liked that school, you know, and right before I left that school, I had wanted to start something called The Truth Behind Life. But I also knew that I wanted to go to college, and all respect to my mom, like I said, and my siblings, I love them to death. They are my world. Like I feel this strong connection to my family. Like I love them to death. But I knew I needed to separate myself in order to focus, okay? Because we all have and still have some finding to do within ourselves. And I feel like every family do, because nobody is perfect. And if you pretend you are, you full of shit, okay? You're bullshitting yourself. And you ain't gonna play nobody but yourself in the end, okay? Because if you don't turn on the TV, you don't turn on the news, or you ain't counter nothing these days to see what's really going on, I think my baby waking up. Then you full of shit, okay? And I'm not trying to hear it. Hey, baby. Hey, Stinkerbud. Hey, Stink. I don't really want my son on the camera. Come here, come here, come here. Come on, come on. Then you full of shit, cuz that's bullshit.